turn as Juventus played host to Cagliari. Here's Gary Bloom.
Bernardo. Tries to get away from Luis Oliveira. Lombardo. Federico. Once again, he's given the ball straight back to Juventus. And this is Conte! That's a smart save by Abate. Another potent Juventus raid. Finished off by a cracking shot by Conte. Repelled by Abate, the goalkeeper of Cagliari. Federico knocks it long. Get out by Ciro Ferrara. On by Venturin. And this is Vialli, who brings Paulo Sousa into the game. Puchedo can't get it out. This is Ravanelli. He's cut inside Villa and scores. Monomi on the line, couldn't keep it out. And there was a real sense of panic there in the Cagliari defence when Ravanelli cut in from the right-hand side. He wrong-footed Villa, and there was little Cagliari could do to keep the ball out. Conte. Bernardo. And this is Ravanelli. And Vialli took the ball off the toe of Lombardo. Well, Vialli is a well-known goal poacher, but he could well have poached a goal from a teammate here. Ravanelli got clear down the right. This was pulled back for Lombardo. And Vialli then took over the responsibility himself. Carrera. Conte. Paulo Sousa. This is Ravanelli, and it's 2. Well, where was the Cagliari marking? Ravanelli given a ridiculous amount of space. Only Trapattoni, who won every major honour in the world game as coach of Juventus. Lombardo. Put out by Villa. Paulo Sousa. Lombardo finds Vialli, and Abate has to produce another marvellous stop. Of course, Lombardo and Vialli played together at Sampdoria, and they combined effectively here. Conte with the throw. It's been a rather laboured second half for Juventus. And that's Ravanelli. He'll chase his hat-trick till the end of the game. Having a little bit of a run-in with Federico. Swapping passes here with Pesotto before shooting wide. Di Livio. Ciro Ferrara. Paulo Sousa. That's Del Piero! It's 3. Now, was this a miss-hit shot by Alessandro Del Piero, the Juventus substitute? It seemed to come off the end of his toe and looped and swerved and eventually dipped under the crossbar to get the better of Abate in the Cagliari goal. I think this will have to go down as a freak goal. So Juventus creep ever closer to another victory. Dario Silva. Luis Oliveira's onside here. He's pulled a goal back. Right on the full-time whistle. Luis Oliveira scores his 8th goal of the season. And my goodness, he had to be determined to achieve that. That goal will do little to alter the outcome of this game. Dialli. Cagliari have seemed very dispirited in this second half. Pesotto links up with Del Piero now. And this is Jugovic. And Juventus reply with a goal of their own in stoppage time at the end of the game. Marvellous cross by Pesotto. And Jugovic scores only his 2nd Serie A goal of the season. And it's now Juventus 4, Cagliari 1.
So Juventus. Week 21's evening game saw a crucial clash between joint second-place Fiorentina and Parma. Elsewhere, Inter played host to Napoli and Lazio travelled to Udine. But we start our roundup with a vital relegation battle as Piacenza made the long trip south to Bari. Here's Gary Bloom.
Bari's fans were still smarting from the 2 penalty decisions which they felt cost them the game at Lazio a week earlier. They conveniently forgot they were awarded 2 spot kicks themselves. Pedoni came close to giving Bari the lead against Piacenza. Gautieri then almost embarrassed Piacenza's goalkeeper Taibi, who seemed completely disorientated. Bari had numerous chances to win this relegation battle. Pedoni again went close. Of course, Bari have Serie A's leading scorer Igor Proti. I'm sure he was left wondering how he failed to take his goals tally to 17 for the season. Carini was Piacenza's saviour. Ultimately, Bari must have been grateful for just a point after Fontana kept out Piavoni. The match ended goalless. Bari have now gone 5 games without a win. Roy Hodgson appeared to be in high spirits despite Inter's recent poor run. Roberto Carlos tested Tagliatelles' reflexes early on. Inter had won just one of their 5 games in '96. Strangely enough, Paul Ince has produced his best form of the season during that time. He was at the heart of this move, which Branca should have finished off with a goal. Branca made up for his error when, just past the half-hour mark, he helped on a cross from Roberto Carlos, and Gans was on hand to steer Inter ahead. Inter doubled their advantage 11 minutes into the second half. Another surging run from Paul Ince was brought to an end by a clumsy challenge from Cruz. Ince was clearly enjoying himself, but perhaps not as much as Gans, who, from the penalty spot, claimed his 2nd goal of the game, his 9th of the season. Napoli went 3-0 down shortly afterwards. Branca scored following a delightful 1-2 with former Napoli favourite Benny Carboni. Things got worse for the away side. Fausto Pari was sent off for this ruthless challenge on Carboni. It was completely out of character for the veteran defender. His former teammates certainly knew that. Napoli were heading for their first defeat away to Inter in more than 5 years. Pecchia's effort was heading for goal before Pagliuca's intervention. Inter completed the rout by scoring goal number 4 with 11 minutes left. Branca took his goals tally to 11. Tagliatelles managed to keep the score down but couldn't stop Napoli from losing their 3rd straight game on the road. Goran Vlahovic has proved more than a handful for Serie A defenders since returning to action in December. Here he skillfully set up Creek, who should have at least hit the target from close range. I guess he knew that. Padova did take the lead 28 minutes in. Quickie scored his first ever Serie A goal, thanks in no small measure to Vicenza's goalkeeper, who was beaten again shortly before the interval. Vlahovic needed 2 attempts to score past Mondini. That's now 8 goals in 10 matches for the Croatian. Mondini was certainly having a peculiar afternoon. Fortunately for Vicenza, Vlahovic failed to take advantage of the goalkeeper's error. To be fair on Luca Mondini, he could do little to stop Padova taking a 3-0 lead with 3 minutes to go. Shot from Vlahovic was deflected in by Lopez. I suppose it wouldn't be the same for Padova's fans without ending the afternoon with some heart-stopping moments. In stoppage time, Vicenza pulled 2 goals back. The first was scored by Majita, who powerfully converted the cross from Viviani. The second was claimed by Ambrosetti, following some more bizarre goalkeeping, this time from Bonaiuti. If you want goals, this is the place to be. 16 have been scored in Padova's last 3 home games. Fortunately for Padova, they've won them all. Roma's fanatical following were expecting nothing less than a victory at home to Serie A's bottom club. Biagio was attempting to give them something to shout about early on. The young midfielder was still looking for his first goal since signing from Foggia last summer. He found a surprising ally in Cremonese's goalkeeper Turci, whose dreadful error gifted Roma a 25th minute lead. Biagio was all smiles as he finally got off the mark. I wonder how Turci was feeling after this. Roma had lost their 2 previous games, but were always on top in this fixture. They went 2 up before the break. Del Vecchio created the goal, Balbo scored it. It was the Argentines' 10th in Serie A this season. The half ended with a save more in keeping with Turci's ability. He denied Carboni, who tried his luck from long range. Cremonese were fortunate not to concede a 3rd goal here. Both Capioli and Balbo might have scored. Roma were never in any danger of letting their lead slip. Indeed, the side from the capital added to their 2 strikes from the first half, with another in the closing stages. Balbo supplied the raking pass, which picked out Capioli, who scored his first Serie A goal in 4 months. With 6 months of the season gone, Torino still haven't managed to win away from home. Anglemin found the Sampdoria keeper, Angelo Pagotto, in excellent form. Caniato, at the other end, wasn't playing too badly either. He did well to deny Chiesa a goal with a fine save at his near post. Caniato needed to keep his wits about him again moments later. Piniero's cross almost curled right into the Torino net. It took an hour before the fans at this game witnessed a goal. Roberto Mancini claimed it. The volatile Sampdoria skipper hadn't scored since the end of October. Mihailovic delivered the corner kick. Mancini's strike proved enough to earn Sampdoria 3 vital points. Torino went down to only their 2nd defeat in 9 games since Scolio took over as coach. Mancini missed the chance to claim his and Sampdoria's 2nd goal of the game here. As far as Torino are concerned, though, he'd already done enough damage. Udinese's fans had already seen their side lose at home to Lazio this season in the Italian Cup. Here the home side broke arguably the most disastrous attempt at playing the offside trap. The comedy of errors was completed by Negro, who put through his own net. Udinese opened the scoring after 10 minutes. It was Amitrano who broke clear on the right. His pass was intended for Poggi. Former Roma midfielder Stefano Desideri would have loved to have scored against his old rivals. He made that painfully obvious. Goalkeepers have needed to improve their ball skills ever since the banning of the back pass. Gregori was fortunate some outfield players seem to have improved their goalkeeping skills too. Lazio had lost their last 5 away games in Serie A and were on the verge of defeat number 6 before Fuzet equalised 6 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the game. For the 2nd week in a row, Udinese somehow managed to let 2 precious points slip in the dying seconds. Still, you have to stop and marvel at Fuzet's strike. Seems that's exactly what Udinese were doing. It ended 1-1. In a week dominated by goalkeeping errors, perhaps the most costly was provided by Luca Bucci of Parma. He spilled Battistuta's effort, and Amoruso was on hand to give Fiorentina a 26-minute lead. From Battistuta's free kick, the ball certainly bounced and kindly for the Parma keeper. From an Italian international, you'd expect better quality than that. Parma lined up without Gianfranco Zola. The little Sardinian was injured. Surprisingly, their best chances fell to right back Roberto Mussi. Toldo denied him the first time.
呢首馬即係今次呂健威嗰首馬實力都相當強㗎，呢隻就係初出嘅沙溪三寶啊！一陣間大家可以睇下佢喺出邊咧